Smart Rural 21 project was a great experience for me and for my colleagues, and I believe that also for teenagers from Mukařov and the surrounding villages who could join us at the trip to Ireland this year. I believe that we all learned a lot of how to work with children and young adults, and also we learned something about us. For me, the smart rural topic is a crucial thing because it's not only about the technology and investments to technical development, but it's about the quality of the life, and especially now when we are facing a lot of challenges that we could not expect several years ago. To be smart, but not only to be smart, but also to be friendly and to be sensitive to needs of our neighbors, of our friends. It's a really very important thing.
They have interesting Celtic culture,
and they have a lot of good food.
and you see a lot of Irish language, but you don't hear it.
What surprised me the most? I don't think there was anything that surprised me because I was kind of surprised all the time. Or I wasn't surprised. I don't really know answer to this question, but I can tell you that I expected the worst. But it turned out to be a great experience, and I would like to do it again sometimes.
Actually, I was the most surprised by the age difference, and speaking both in the teens and also the age difference between me and the other leaders of the communities. To be concrete, in one center they had teens from age 7 to 27. Of course, some activities were divided, but I was asking the leader, like, how do they manage to work with someone who's 27 and someone who's like 7 or 17? So that was like a really big surprise for me, because here we have it only from 12 to 17, 18, 19 max. And the second one, in all the centers, the leaders were seniors, whereas I would expect that somebody would have a closer relationship maybe with the teens if they're almost their age, but adults.
I learned how to apply my English with native speakers, not just in school for grades, but how to use it in real conversations and real life. The second thing I learned is how, when you have the freedom of kind of doing what you want, it also comes with responsibility. It was there a lot in the community centers that the teens could do what they wanted, but it was on them when something went wrong.
I have definitely learned a lot and got a lot of new experiences, and some of those I'd like to mention and maybe even apply here in Mukařov are, for example, in the community centers we visited, there was attendance taken, which I liked because I was having difficulties with teenagers not really caring if anything gets broken or stolen even. So I would definitely like the idea of them caring about the things we have in our room. So we had an idea that we could also take attendance, not because we want to like uh, know who has been there on Friday, since that's not the point of our hangouts. Just maybe for them to feel like we know they've been there and we see them, and if something would have happened, then maybe they will feel the responsibility because they wrote their own name on there. And also I would like to apply from September next year that we would have a little bit shorter meetings, maybe twice a week, maybe more. Maybe there'll be even like another person coming in with his own ideas and goals, but I definitely want to make them shorter because I feel like that I've seen in Ireland that it's more productive. Thing I wanted to mention were definitely the money. Money is a question of everything, and if we don't have them, we just can't have as nice things as we, for example, saw in Ireland, because I was really surprised how well equipped their rooms were. There was like a table of football and table tennis and billiard and maybe like music tower, and also lots of food and candies and drinks. And I like that idea, and I would also like to have like a tiny kitchen in our room and to have a nice equipment. But when there aren't enough money from organizations and government, we get an idea. We also saw at the festival that teens could make money themselves, which we already applied, and I think it was quite a success. They actually enjoyed the process, and also they got a hang of how much money is that much money. Because if you buy a t-shirt and you've never worked in your life, you don't actually know how much the t-shirts cost. So that, and also I feel like they're gonna act more nicely to the things they buy for their own money, from their own job, than if it's just handed to them just like a gift. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that I loved seeing the collective of my teens just like getting more together and being more confident in the question of speaking to each other, but also to adults and teens in English, which I really like seeing. And also I feel like they grew as persons, and I just loved how happy they were that they can go on a trip with us, and also it contributed a lot that Irish people are so kind and nice, so that was also part of our good energy, and I would like to bring that here to the other teens that actually hadn't had the chance to go with us to Ireland, so they could be part of that good spirit, collective, group, and almost like a family.
Now we have better collective and a lot of memories.
And some new clothes, cosmetic, books and candles.
What I remembered was definitely the people, then how they work with the place they have. There were a lot of small community centers, and there were bigger community centers, and I definitely can't forget the beauty of Trinity College, where we didn't get to see the library. That's a shame, but I definitely want to see it sometime, so number one reason why to visit Dublin again. And that's it.
The three main things I remember would be probably the three strongest moments or memories from the trip, which for me is the first one, teenagers. It's like more of a topic than memory, but in the last youth center in Middleton, we had a few interactions with the teenagers, and I really liked how hostile they were, and also I was really surprised by the reaction of my teenagers from Czech, because they just fit in so well with them, and they really taught us a lot about the school system, but also what they like to do for fun. And we played some board games, and I really liked our little evening hangout. The second thing, it's not really a positive one, is Dublin, and the trip we had with a guide. And I loved learning about a new city I never been to, but I have to mention that we ended up in the hospital, and I had to go with one of my teens to the Dublin hospital because of her ankle. And I realized in that moment that I'm really grateful for our healthcare system, because it was really expensive there, and we waited for like 6 hours in the hospital at night, which wasn't nice for me and neither for the teen. So that's like my second strongest memory. And the third one must have been food in general. I'm a big foodie person, and I was surprised by two things in food, and one of them was everything is fried. It was so unhealthy. I love fish and chips, I love all of that, but I couldn't even see it at the end of the trip. So that was like the first thing that I didn't really enjoy Irish cuisine that much. And the second one is candy, because I really liked and was even a bit surprised when I saw in normal supermarkets they sell American sweets that we don't normally have access to here.
If speaking of Ireland, I remember green color, sheep, Irish flags, of course Irish beer, and very friendly people, and I'm sure that that's impression we all have.